Hey guys! Well, I had to do a cleanup overall on both my tanks. I had the bigger frogs in the 30-gallon tank because there were less of the bigger frogs than there were of the smaller ones. So I thought that, the 30-gallon tank would be able to handle the four bigger frogs, but I was wrong. Sadly, the 30-gallon tank was inundated with like a green, it looked like bacterial bloom, but it lasted for such a long time. And I eventually pulled my frogs out and tried to run the tank without the frogs in it and see if it would go away. And that didn't work either. So I had to do an overhaul on the tanks. And since I did an overhaul on the 30-gallon tank, I was like, well, let me do an overhaul on the 85-gallon tank because this is where the bigger frogs are going to be. Now, one of the things that I noticed is that when I had the bigger frogs in a container waiting to be transported, there was a lot of waste in there for a very short amount of time. So I'm thinking that maybe the 30-gallon tank couldn't handle the amount of waste that four frogs of the rotund size of my giant frogs could make. So I put the four frogs along with three other mid-sized frogs in the 85-gallon tank. So then the 30-gallon tank only has the small and tiny frogs in there. So I'm going to see how that works out. Hopefully I won't have to deal with this, but I will say that the bacterial bloom that's coming after these cleanings is probably going to be inevitable, because I will say that from the 85-gallon tank, I bought a bigger filter. So I switched filters. I put the filter that was in the 85-gallon tank in the 30-gallon tank to keep that one running really well with the bacterial sludge and everything that was in there. So hopefully I won't get the bacterial bloom I'm expecting in that one. But the other one is running on a brand new canister filter, so there is no beneficial bacteria. I did add some with sea chem stability and some limnazyme, see if that's going to work, but I'm pretty sure that 85-gallon tank is going to have some bacterial bloom. But at least, in my hopes, it will not be green. Anyway, I am just sharing some footage with you. And I also did notice that you see all those little things flying around in the water. The water pressure on the 30-gallon tank for the exit, the out, is a little high. So I lowered it since then. So, I mean, it's not blowing the frogs all around the tank, but it probably is a lot of water pressure for them. So I did lower that a little bit. Anyway, I hadn't presented a lot of frog footage lately because I've been taking care of my mom and my time is pretty scarce. But I will try to fit some more videos in between here and there. They're not going to be as frequent as when I first started the channel because, life changes and, everything happens for a reason. Things fall into place, things fall out of place. But, right now I was able to film this so I can share it with you and talk about the debacle that I had with this 30-gallon tank. Anyway, I hope you guys have a good rest of the day. I'm going to end the video here. There's probably still a little more footage that's going to go. So it'll be nice music with froggy footage. Have a good one.